Hey everybody, this is Joel Owens with TripleNet Invest. Just bringing you another video here. One of the questions I get asked a lot is how much does it take to get started to invest in TripleNet single tenant properties? And typically you have a rural area, small suburban, strong suburban, urban core. With me doing this for 21 years, I focus mainly on strong suburban to urban core areas because that is where the tenants pay the most rent typically, and that is where the biggest pool of buyers are if you ever decide to sell your property in 1031 and exchange and trade up to another property. So I'm just going down the stairs here as I walk, so bear with me. So typically to own direct a single tenant property in a strong suburban core area, you're generally going to need about $1 million down, and you're going to need a property that's about $2.5 million in price and up to be able to afford a strong suburban area. Because typically the land for a developer costs about anywhere from $600,000 to $1 million an acre in a premium location or more. By the time they build the building and do the construction cost and the tenant improvements on the inside, they might have a couple million into the property or the high ones, and they're selling it for $2.5–3 million and up. Most single tenant properties go for about $2 million and up price range to about $10 million in price. There's a few that go up to 15 or 20 million. But most of the single tenant properties are in the $2 to $10 million range, and you need typically about 35% down. When you own direct, you can typically expect cap rates in the 6s to 7s, interest rates about 5.9 to about 6.2. With your down payment, that makes your cash on cash return, meaning the money in your pocket annually, about 4.5%. So if you put $1 million down, expect to get about $45,000 a year distributed to you before taxes, annually, divided up each month, paid by the tenant on an absolute triple net lease. Then you have your principal pay down with your mortgage, and then tax depreciation benefits. When you add that in, you get about a 9 or 10% overall return, which inflation the last 50 years is about 2.75% average, taking out the negative inflation years and the super high inflation years. And so if you can keep growing your money passively and get by a factor of almost 3 times inflation and have about a 10% return in the triple net space for passive wealth, not having to work for anything, just getting that mailbox money, people eat that up all day long. That's the kind of the home run in the triple net space. Now, if you're searching for more yield, you could invest in one of my syndications where we set up a different LLC per property. I'm the general partner, you the accredited investor or the limited partner. Minimum amounts are $200,000 and up investment per property for our properties, and we buy single tenant, typically short-term leases or dark buildings, single tenant that are paying rent. We buy those at high cap rates, typically 9 cap or greater. So the starting preferred return, nothing is guaranteed, but generally to our investors, it's 8% starting out or higher on those value add deals. And, sometimes it can be, 10% starting out. It just depends on the deal. You'd have to read our individual offerings, sign a subscription agreement, all the forms and processes. No returns are guaranteed. If anyone tells you that, you need to run fast from them. There's risk in any investment, but with single tenant and passive wealth, we try to mitigate that risk on value add by buying at higher cap rates. So that's kind of the introduction into single tenant net lease properties, and kind of what kind of yield you can expect in the space. Some of my investors invest with us passively on the value add single tenant deals, and they also go own direct, where I help them find and locate those properties for purchase. and then they do a blended yield. They have the long-term stable tenant with a long-term lease at a little bit lower yield, and then they have the value add that they're going in with us on our properties that we buy with our syndication, and they're blending the total yield up that way while still staying passive. If you'd like more information, you can go to nnninvest.com and fill out the form on the website, and we'll be in touch. Talk to you later.